She was more annoyed by flowers than a home invasion. Yep, Allie was fucked up. And today we are chatting about Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. Allen? It's Allen.
We're struggling on the last name and not the first.
Ha! There we go. Well, because, okay, so the reason I was like, Allen, because Nevessa is basically Vanessa. And then Allen, I was thinking, like, if her real last name was like Nell or Nall or Ellen or something, like maybe she just jumbled up the letters enough for a what's it called?
Pen
Pen
name.
name. Yeah. So anyway, now I mess it up in my head every time when I think of Allen.
That's funny.
It's dumb.
No, I mean, but it's also clever. That would be really clever if that's what she did. I mean, the letters are
Mm-hmm.
like similar. What is it when
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
call a name the same thing frontwards as backwards, like Hannah or Anna?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I mean, there are L's and S's. Anyways,
Oh.
so this book, Jen had messaged me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've started this. I love this. You have to start this book immediately." And I'm like, I have to read 3 books for like the next 3 book clubs that I have. I can't start it until this day. And as the 2 days pass, as I'm trying to read the 3 books from my book club, my 3 other book clubs, Jen is live message me as she's reading this book. And I'm just like, I can't get to it yet. So
Oh my gosh. This book was so fun.
it was. We definitely needed a fun book. We haven't had a fun book in a while.
I mean, and I would say as far as like this year, Driving My Obsession was my favorite like dark romance book of the year. But this one totally takes the cake. Like baked it, iced it, ate it. It's just it's so good. So,
What did
it's
you like about it?
okay. So, I would be interested to like sit down and read it now that I've listened to it, because so much of what made this book fantastic is Jacob Morgan's performance.
Yes.
Like, so this book, so you all know, is legitimately, and this is my favorite type of narration, it was legitimately dual narrated. And what I mean when I say that is, instead of the characters like just reading the female POVs, so instead of like the female character just reading the female characters, oh my god, I can't talk, instead of the female voice actor, just reading the female's POV chapters, and then vice versa for the male, they actually read the female's part, even if it's in the male's POV chapter. Hopefully, I explained that well. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. So it was narrated by Elena Wolf and Jacob Morgan, and Elena Wolf did great. I think like her performance was amazing. But Jacob Morgan, like, embodied everything that was Josh. Like, I can't explain it. It was just like his inflection and his quips and like all of these things just made it where I could picture the entire book, especially when he was talking. Like, I could picture him standing with Uncle Nico and like putting on the serial killer face to basically get Nico off his back. You like, I seriously can like picture, even sitting here now, like picture him standing there, Nico standing there, they're in this gorgeous house, and like that whole interaction, I could just see it. And it was like that for the entire book. And I think Elena did a really great job of supporting him you know, she didn't get left behind as far as the narration goes, but he just he just made that his role. And I don't know, it was one of the best voice performances I've ever listened to.
I concur. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it so perfectly well. I don't. Let me back up. Yes, I pictured the whole thing. The voices made it enjoyable. Like I was sitting in the room with them as all of this was happening. You know, peeping Tom here.
Yes.
You know, and just cackling and being like, "Oh boy, you shouldn't have done that." You know,
Yes.
like I felt like I was there with them. So yes, the
Mm-hmm.
narration was really good. I don't think I would have probably enjoyed it as much as you if I had read it as you had listened.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we both listened to it, because
Yeah.
that's the shared experience. I don't think it would have been the same.
I agree with that for you. I don't think you would have enjoyed this book. You honestly, I was a little nervous that you weren't going to like it, because even though he actually stalked her, even though there was actual like killing on page, like it kind of towed the line of not being really a dark romance, because their relationship was so wholesome. Like in the end, like it really was.
Yeah.
Like for a dark romance book, you know, like it's not like Butcher and Blackbird where they're legitimately two serial killers. You have two people who have like this fun kinky fetish thing that happen to like match really well together, and they accidentally kill someone.
Mhm.
Like that is a very different type of dark romance. So I was a little nervous that you weren't going to like it, because as I fell in love with it more, it was because of the light and fluffy aspect. And there's so much consent, which I just appreciate so much. And like all of these other factors that I'm like, this is making me too happy. I think Misty, I was very nervous that you weren't going to like it. So I completely agree. I think
Just talk about it. This is making me too happy. So obviously, Misty can't like it at all.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
Oh my gosh, I'm making that into a shirt for you. Me. This is making me too happy. Misty ain't gonna like this.
That could be my Christmas present.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I mean, that's a good
Yeah.
indicator, but it probably
That's
would have been if I had read it for sure.
okay. So, my point in saying that is, for you, I really think the audiobook is what made it.
Hmm.
I think I would have loved this book even if I had read it. I don't think I would have probably had quite as much of a character inflection and stuff in my head that Jacob Morgan does with Josh, but I still think I would have absolutely loved this book. I think if you had read it, you would have called it trash.
Oh, the new term
Maybe.
is rubbish now. I'm trying to use the
Oh,
word
rubbish.
rubbish. Yes. That was a
Mm-hmm.
request.
Okay.
That was a
Oh, was
request.
it?
Yes.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
take a shot for how many
So,
times I mess up.
so yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but that is something that I kind of thought of myself, like how much of it was the performance and how much of it was the writing, because you can't perform something that you don't have good material for, right? Or at least in my opinion. And just the one-liners, like when Josh woke up thinking he was blind, that was fantastic. The
The
way he
relationship with
immediately, the
oh
cat,
yes.
yes, yes.
He's like, this is our child. Like, what are you talking about? If we're
Not
not
in
gonna
front
make it
of
as
the
a couple, we
baby.
need to set up, visitation rights, okay?
Yes. I loved that like he immediately took to Fred. The other thing that and here I am because I'm the serious person over here. The other thing that I enjoyed, I don't know that enjoyed is the right word here, but we'll go with it. I had never considered like I mean, I wouldn't have a reason to because I'm not like a huge true crime junkie or anything. But I had never really considered all of the, for lack of a better term, like mind fucks that being the child of a serial killer would give you. And I feel like Navessa did, and again, this is talking from somebody who, like, I'm not in psychology, I haven't studied this, I haven't, like, this is just somebody who's reading this book. But I feel like she did a really good job of being very realistic on what kind of impact that would have on a child of a serial killer. Like, having that, like, we see them all the time. True crime documentaries are so popular, and podcasts and that kind of thing, and diving into old cases. And I do think a lot of it's important to try and solve cold cases, but it definitely had me questioning, like, how much of it is helpful and how much of it is like really like harvesting trauma and like yeah, like trying to find somebody to like have them on this documentary, like to have that type of thing continuously haunt you, or you're being hunted, or in like a way, like a media type of way. Like, I can't imagine having to navigate that. And I feel like Navessa did a really good job of showing what it could look like for these people who, like, we binge true crime podcasts or shows or whatever, but like it was not a wake up call, but like definitely a light bulb went off, like these are real people and these are their real lives, and that was their parent or that was their uncle or whatever. And so I mean, that's almost like a whole side conversation, but it's something that I've actually thought about quite a bit because of this book and how well she narrated all of that inner monologue of Josh. And like, he didn't want to be around small animals, he didn't trust himself to be around, to ever have a pet. He secluded himself from society so that he didn't accidentally slip up, or the recognition thing. And I'm just like, my gosh, like, I'm sure there are people out there who that is their life, and I just want to give all of them a hug because I just can't imagine like having to like to be a genuinely good person with some boundary issues, and and feel like you have to seclude yourself from society, or like, my goodness, everyone knows I'm a huge animal lover, like to not even allow yourself the pleasure of animal company because if you're scared of your own yourself. So anyway, totally side conversation, but it's something that I've thought a lot about.
And she really loved this book in case that turned you down.
I did love this book. I loved it so much.
And, speaking of boundaries, she posted in the comments, she gave an open invitation for him to come over. Okay. So, I don't,
Yeah.
mm.
Well,
And
and
I
that's the
love,
other thing
oh,
that I no, go. I've
I
like
really
talked so much.
enjoyed, he was like, okay, how can this be used against me in the court of law? How do I right? Like, if I put
Yes.
this in writing, can she use this? Okay, no, it's too vague. She can't use this. Okay, here we go. He's like, oh my God, I'm really gonna go to jail. Like, I just love that, like, self-awareness of, I know that this is bad. I don't care. I'm going to do it, but I'm still gonna, how can I protect myself in case she doesn't receive it well?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Well, and like I think that's what made, and and again, it's does that make it dark romance? Does it, do you have to have like non-con dub-con for it to qualify as dark romance? Because that's one thing, like there's so much consent throughout the entire book. And that's something that, like, I love. It makes me very happy. But I can see, like, just to play devil's advocate, all of the elements that make this a dark romance are on such a light version of it that you almost can't consider it dark romance.
We're not at the rating yet, so I'm not gonna. I feel like we're doing this all back. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's light and fluffy, but there are dark elements like sprinkled throughout it.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason why people would call it dark romance is, because he like sets up cameras and then they accidentally kill somebody. But again, that's so lighthearted. Like,
Listen, and I
right?
don't know what this says about me, but I'm sitting here like, if Mike set up a camera in my office to watch me throughout the day, I'd be totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Like,
But you've also been
like,
married for this was a stranger. I say stranger in quotations. She was following on TikTok. Okay.
okay, well, that's fair.
I love that
mean,
she knew
yeah.
who it was immediately. Like,
Yeah.
and then they still played around, and then she called him out, and he's like, "What? She said my name." Now I just feel kind of silly wearing the mask now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was super cute. Yeah. Okay,
I
so
enjoyed it.
were there any elements or aspects of it that you didn't like?
I didn't like that they magically had a solution to get rid of the body. I didn't like that the police officer gave Brad the nurse's real name.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
I honestly think he did it on purpose.
Really?
And yeah, total sleazebag. He had a crush on her. She rejected him. That was kind of his way of getting back at her. That's the story in my head.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the way that he just like strolled up there, went to her. I don't know. Sleazy bag feeling. Honestly, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, it had the definition of what I feel like is a stalker. He followed her, he put cameras, he broke into her house,
Broke into
even
her car.
with consent. Yeah, like, hello.
And can we just I loved that scene. I loved the entire book, but like that scene cracked me up. He's like, I'm gonna drive you home, but look, you have a gun and a knife and snacks and a heated seat, so like it's fine. Like when the driving my obsession guy brought all the things to make her Moscow mule when he kidnapped her. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
What was that?
That was Sully moving something.
Oh, sound like a ghost. It was
No
cute.
ghost.
I
Just
will give it. And those two
Sully.
things are just me being nitpicky about it, but I really don't have any issues with any of it. Like, it was a good story.
Yeah,
The
it was. And
it,
I'm really excited about the next book.
Did you read the blurb?
Yes. I was hoping it was going to be about him.
Yeah.
And I really liked
His roommate?
I'm such a Yes, I was thinking initially that his roommate was going to be the next book.
He's too we don't care about him.
I don't know. I think the author could do something with that because I think Tyler knows about
Oh, of course he does. The mask
social
thing?
media account.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's why he did
Like,
that. Because you notice in book 1, after he tells, I don't even remember the chick's name, that he has a girlfriend, it's never brought up
Allie.
again.
Yeah.
It is never brought up again, so I think he lied.
No, it's brought up again.
Are you sure?
Because when Tyler was leaving to go to something, he was like, Sophie or whatever her name is gonna kill me if I'm late again. Or like he was saying something about her being late, something like that.
Well, I totally blocked him out because, I didn't care. Okay.
It was legitimately one line.
Okay, if you say so. I thought it was a whole setup. I mean, he definitely knows for sure. And then as soon as he saw that, I think that's why he showed his friend the text.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
thought it
that
was funny when he was like, go ahead.
that whole where he was like, if I'd known you'd been interested, I would have rolled out the red carpet for you, dude.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that he was like, I'm just happy he has somebody else to obsess over.
You do know that he tracks everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny. But
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler, Tay, whatever.
Tyler.
He's a really good friend to,
Yeah.
work with Josh and his boundaries and take him as he is, even though he's a little obsessive about it. But I
Yeah, for
imagine
sure.
that he is also the same with Josh, which is why he knows about his secret account. That would be really
That's what
funny
I mean.
if
I feel like
his
there's
book. You know what I lied. There is one thing that I'm very upset about on this book. At the end, the dare or their challenge is that he catches her, she has to do a video with him, and we don't get to fucking see the video. I'm very upset about
Oh
that.
yeah.
I want to know
Yeah.
what the video is.
Oh, okay. The other thing that I loved about this is there was like this book was very spicy.
Yes.
Very spicy. And it was a different kind of scene every single time.
Yep.
So like I felt like you were able to actually enjoy the smut because it wasn't the same scene repeated 6 7 times throughout a book. It was a brand new scene every time, and that's, as we know, is like a pet peeve of mine,
Mhm.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just love them. They're just so
Mhm.
cute.
It was. It was super cute.
So are we ready to rate? Is there anything else we want to discuss?
No, I think that's it. I mean, there are so many good things that we can still point out, and besides the three things that I said I was nitpicky about, but the ending, I was really upset that we didn't get that video.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, it doesn't even have to be like if she couldn't think of anything, we didn't even need the video. We could have just like had like the comment thread of, "Oh my god, he has a woman." Like we didn't actually. I just
Yeah.
needed something like that tease of, "Oh, we're about to go make a video." Like, absolutely not, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we do first? I can't remember. We've been so long. Do we do darkness first or do we do
Yeah, I think we do darkness first.
Okay. So I would give it a 2. Unconventional relationship is the first thing that pops into my head. He does have a
Yeah,
traumatic past, even though it's not
on
on the
page.
page. And then they accidentally kill somebody. Whether or not it's accident or not, you still killed somebody, and then you try to dispose of the body. So I think a 2 is fine. Are you looking up the rating?
Yeah.
I don't blame you because I can't remember it either. Just know 2 is unconventional relationship. And so
Mm.
does it help? Do you want me to tell you what we rated Butcher and Blackbird?
Yeah, what did we rate Butcher and Blackbird?
3.5 on the new scale.
Okay, so I think Lights Out is a 3.
You think it's a 3? What does 3 say? Or here, let me look it up.
Okay, so at this level, the darkness becomes palpable, delving into themes of obsession, betrayal, or trauma. Well,
I said a 2. If we focused more on Josh and his past, then I would have said yes. But like you said, he's aware of
yeah.
everything. He took all these steps, and yes, he talks about it to explain why he came into hacking, why he doesn't go out. I think it's a 2.
Okay. Yeah, because we said that the romantic relationship may face greater challenges, but there's still a sense of hope and redemption. And at no point, like, did their relationship, like, really falter at any point.
Mm-hmm.
They were always really solid. Okay. All right. I'll agree to it too.
Yay. Spicy. Has to be a 5, right?
5. Yeah. Like, you've got all of it. Yeah, has to be a 5.
Okay. I concur. 5 for sure. And
And
then
it's such good spice.
yes.
It's such good spice. Well done, Nevessa.
Yes. And is this is self-published, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All the things of Love and Holy. Please, 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 please finish the series before you go to a traditional publisher. We do not need a repeat of that. Okay. So, that's my little caveat to that. Nevessa, please, please finish the series first. Overall rating.
It's a 5 stars for me. No one is shocked.
I'm totally shocked. I'm going to give it 5 stars too.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking you would give it a 4, just to spite me, basically.
I would never do anything to spite you. Except for the conversation
You
part,
know
right?
what I mean. Well, okay, that's fair.
I will definitely do that in
That's funny.
conversation for sure. No, I mean, I think again, it's only because I'd listened to the audio. If I had read it, just
Yeah.
knowing myself, I'd probably give it a 3 if I had just read it without listening to it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and this
Yeah.
goes back to that whole the narration can make or break a book. Like it really
Absolutely.
can. So,
Yeah. And like, again, like it's kind of a separate conversation, but like Neon Gods, I wish it would be re-recorded
oh
because
really?
Neon Gods is one of my favorite books, and I read it before I listened to it, and I can't stand the male narrator.
So don't listen
I
to
don't even
Neon
remember the
Gods.
female. Yeah, I mean it's free on Spotify if you like just wanted to, but yeah, it's
I'm not if I'm going to hate it. I don't have time to listen to things that I hate.
yeah,
And I'm not
fair.
going to waste my hours on it.
Fair,
Not at
fair.
all. So,
All
I'm
right.
so excited that you were excited about this. Wasn't even on our recording schedule at
I know.
all. But that's what makes it so great,
Now,
right? It's just coming across something to be like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, you have to read this. We have to, read this together and then discuss it because it, I mean, it legit does hit all of the check boxes of, the stalker and the sex and,
Yeah.
so yeah, this was a really good pick, Jen. I'm curious to see
Thanks.
how, I mean, we probably know how your wrap up's going to go for this season. Maybe, maybe not. You might be surprised. It might change.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the mafia season, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like I need to get into Libby today and line up what I'm gonna listen to this weekend. All right.
You're the
Any
closer
parting
outer.
thoughts before I? Yeah.
Any parting thoughts? I hate to say this, if you're fans of Butcher and Blackbird, you're definitely going to love this book. And if you've never read
Mm-hmm.
Butcher and Blackbird, go read it, but you just need to read the first book.
You can read Leather and Lark. It was cute. It was just different.
Go check out our episodes to hear our discussion on those books. Butcher and Blackbird's in season 1. I think Leather and Lark is in season 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, you all. Have you read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen? If not, we highly recommend you to listen to it or read it. And if you do, tag us on Instagram at Bones of the Story, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
And Jen,
signing off
from Bones of the Story.